Hello, my name is Malikar, nice to meet you and welcome back to Steinsgate Linear Bounded Phenogram KURISU chapter. We're just gonna go in, not talking. Aren't devoted. Oh my god. Why did you just say something about the title of your chapter, KURISU? What does that word mean? I'm joking. I rendezvoused at the lab to find Okabe, a petite maid, and a middle-aged butler waited for me. I assumed that the maid was Fairy-san. The middle-aged butler, on the other hand, was a mystery to me. He looked as though he stepped right out of a manage, or of a manga or an anime. Manage. Okabe looks worn out to the point that it doesn't seem like he can even stand on his own. Fairy-san and the butler are holding him up with their shoulders. What the hell happened to him? I rushed towards him without thinking.
あなたがマキセさん？ええ、ありがとうフェイリスさん。岡部を見つけてくれて。
Hashida had told me before that this girl was the reigned champion and that Fairy's Nyan Nyan was a stage name of sorts.
ダルニャンから連絡があって、フェイリスもいても立ってもいられなかったから。詳しい事情はわからないけど、とにかく探さなきゃと思って。でも、さっきからダルニャンには連絡が取れないの。
Does she mean Hashida? Could he still be searching for Okabe? Let's put that aside for now.
それで、岡部は今は少し落ち着いているよ。でも UPX の立教のところで見つけた時は本当に死んじゃうんじゃないかってくらいだったの。
His face is as white as a sheet of paper now, so hearing that he was in even worse condition early makes my heart ache. Okabe thought, his feelings. I have to find out what's going through his head.
岡部、一体何が。
But Okabe just stares at nothing. He doesn't make any effort to look at me.
とりあえずここでこうしていてもなんだし、一旦ラボに上がりましょう。
We asked the butler to shoulder the hollow-eyed Okabe for us and made our way into the lab. I turned on the lights and was greeted by a horrifying sign. What? Oh my god, I haven't seen anything, obviously, and I'm scared. Blood stains on the floor. Fairy-san gasped behind me, but her reaction was nothing compared to Okabe. Oh no. His scream echoed through the lab. He cursed into the fetal position, weeping as he calls my Yuri's name. We stood frozen, unsure of how to approach Okabe in this situation. But in the middle of the chaos, the butler alone calmly surveys the room.
失礼。
While the rest of us stood in shocked silence, he boldly approached the bloodstains and began to examine them.
どうやらお亡くなりになった方はいないようです。この出血量ですと命に別状はないでしょう。
Ah. The butler's calm, confident declaration made Okabe stand up and rush toward him.
命に別状ない。無 事なのかマユリは。それにダルも。
Wait. Daru? Wakabe looked like a man possessed. Wakabe thinks this blood may belong to Mayuri and Hashida. No, he's convinced of it.
少なくともここで殺されたということはないでしょう。血の跡からして銃か何かで撃たれはしたようですが、倒れた形跡はありません。揉み合った痕跡はございますが、立ったままのようですから、おそらくは意識のあるまま力ずくで連れ去られたのではないかと。
連れ去られた。セルラウンダーか。
With tears in his eyes, Okabe nearly collapsed under the weight of his despair. I grabbed him by the arm before he can.
話を聞かせなさい、岡部。一体何が起きてるの？マユリと橋田はどうしたの？
Oh, they killed Daru too. Thrice I made, it was impossible to keep my cool. Two of my friends just had disappeared, leaving only bloodstain in their wake. Wait, their bodies are not there.
おそらく。
Wait.
おそらくだが、二人はセルンのラウンダーに連れ去られた。
No, they say that they... okay, I think.
セルンってなんで？
タイムリープマシンだ。奴らは俺たちの存在に感づいていた。
My heart stopped. CERN, the European Society for Nuclear Research, the world's largest particle physics research organization. Despite their over 40 years of time machine research, they have kept their result hidden from the rest of the world. Rumors has it that they even killed a human test subject in their secret time travel experiments.
ちょっと待って。タイムリープマシンがあるからって、なんでセルンがマユリや橋田をさらうのよ。
Okay, they kidnapped them.
大体研究機関がどうやってこんなことをするっていうの？
セルンにはラウンダーと呼ばれる実行部隊があったんだ。連中はタイムマシンを独占するため宴会をやっていた俺たちを襲撃した。そしてここでマユリを殺したんだ。
でもさっき執事さんが。
I looked to the bottle for confirmation that Okabe was incorrect. He scares me. The bottle merely shook his head with a slight smile. He seemed confident in his assessment. But the reason for Okabe's grim proclamation was made clear by what he said next.
だから俺は過去を変えるために飛んだんだ。あのタイムリープマシンで。
じゃあそれじゃああんた。
俺は時間を超えた。
My mind went blank for a moment. He had traveled through time using the time leap machine, the machine we agreed not to use due to the need for human testing. Thought I had full confidence in my time travel theory. All theories are subject to experimentation and analysis before they are recognized as valid. That's why I felt both relief and regret when we decided not to test the time leap machine. But what Okabe just said validates my theory and speaks to the machine's effectiveness. To say I was unhappy would be a lie. For a researcher, nothing compares to the moment a breakthrough theory of hers is proven true. For just a moment, the terrifying situation I was in melted away. All I wanted to do was ask Okabe about the traveling through time, but this feeling of elation was shattered by Okabe's sorrow's howl.
マユリを救うためにだ。
Save Mayuri.
なのにどうして救えない。なぜだ。なぜマユリは必ず死ぬんだ。
Mayuri has to die. I tremble at the currently of those words.
ちょっと待ってよ。もしそれが本当ならどうしてまず警察に行かなかったのよ。
言った が信じてもらえなかった。こんな荒唐無稽なこと信じてもらえるわけがないだろう。それにマイレが警官に殺されたこともあった。空前か事故か、それとも警官にもラウンダーがいるのか、細かいことは俺には分からない。だがどうやってもマイリは殺されたんだ。俺は誰にも頼れず、誰にも話せず、ただ繰り返すばかりでマユリを救えなかった。
Okabe screamed so loud, I thought he may call up blood. Mayuri's death repeat over and over, leaping through time over and over again. A hellish circle of time, an endless circle of tragedy. No matter how many times he tries to save her, Mayuri inevitably dies. By someone's hand, through some turn of events, by sheer coincidence, between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. To be more precise, apparently there was one instance in which Mayuri's death occurred later than all the others. In that instance, apparently he was shown a picture of Mayuri transformed. Yes! I nervously checked the clock. 8 p.m. has already come and gone. If what Okabe is saying is true, then Mayuri is already... Okabe raises his voice. It seems he noticed that I was looking at the clock, which in turn drew his eyes toward it. And then he realized that it was already past 8 p.m. Oh no. Before I'm fully aware of what I have done, Okabe's mouth and eyes open wide, in despair. Never before I had heard such abject sorrow, and I doubt that I will again as long as alive. And from his shock, Okabe burst into madness. As he tore at his head and wildly swung his arms around, the bottle slowly and gently approached him. And Okabe collapsed with a slight groan. He lost consciousness.
失礼いたしました。このままでは岡部様の心の健康にも害が出ますので。
Thank you.
ありがとう、黒木。今は京馬も眠らせてあげた方がいいと思う。だって。こんな辛すぎるよ。
Fairy's eyes also filled with tears. Admittedly, I haven't fully accepted everything that Okabe had said as truth. But looking at him now, I had no choice. I want to believe him. But if I do...
いずれにせよ、こうしてはいられない。なんとかしないと。
Sir, the commit of 300 wonders, we were living in a nightmare straight out of one of Okabe's Shunibuyi delusions. But this reality, as the despair in front of us can attest to.
でもどうするの？私、ちっとも思考が追いつけなくて。
考えなきゃ。
Hashida Mayuri's face emerged in the back of my mind, and in front of my eyes is Okabe, his pain evident even as he slept. There's no way I can ignore this. Okabe didn't just ignore my problems with my papa, after all.
お嬢様、少々よろしいでしょうか。
黒木、何かいいアイデアがあるの？
As we struggle to make sense of the absurd and tragic situation before us, the bottle apparently named Kuroki-san speaks.
はい。私も完全に事態が飲み込めているわけではありませんが、まずは旦那様にご相談なさってはいかがでしょうか。
パパに？
Okay, Fairy-san's father. He's someone we should consult at a time like this. Could he be a cop? Right, because they... Okay, got it. He's alive in here. But Okabe said that the police were also under Stein's direct control. Then what kind of man is he? We know what kind of man is he. Regardless, I'm not thrilled about the idea of relying on the adult. One can say that it's because I have accomplished everything in my life on my own. But at this point, our options were limited. And my experience as a working member of an American research institution doesn't change the fact that I'm not even old enough to drink. No amount of effort can make up for a lack of social experience, and I certainly haven't learned how to deal with things like this. Outside of contacting law enforcement, I have no idea what to do. And given that we can't trust the police, that put us all the way back at square one. Normally I would have called bullshit on Okabe's claim that they infiltrated the police, but the desperation in his eyes convinced me otherwise. Besides, if the terror threat that shut down public transportation was Stein's doing, we don't have much time to think. I saw Faris hesitate for a moment, but in an instant, she stilled her expression in a show of determination.
とにかくここにいるのは良くないと思う。私の自宅に行きましょう。
あなたの家に移動するの？
Her words catch me off guard. The timely machine is a prototype that is only confirmed to work in this lab. If we leave, it's going to be a lot harder to keep it safe. That said, if we accept Okabe's claim, it's kind of odd that the timely machine hasn't been taken already. Then, Kuroki responds to my question for Faris.
マキセ様、お嬢様の言う通りです。ここは再度の襲撃の可能性があります。一旦移動なさった方がご賢明かと。ご安心ください。我々が離れましたら、入れ替わりにここを見張る者を配置いたします。
Faris nodded at Kuroki's word, her eyes beaming with confidence. The two of them seemed to have the situation under control, insofar as it could be controlled. Who on earth are these people? It feels as though they are backed by a powerful organization, which struck me as rather suspicious. But I didn't have anyone else I could count on.
わかりました。
Above all else, we can't afford to leave Okabe in a dangerous place like this in his condition. One look at the unconsciousness agonized Okabe reaffirmed that belief. We readied ourselves to change location, praying Mayuri and Hashida's safety all the while. Akihabara Times Tower is the tallest condominium complex in Akihabara, complete with a view of Mt. Fuji, Tokyo Tower from its top floors. And the top floor of this Akihabara station adjacent complex was Faris-san's home. I must admit, a high-end condo with its own concierge service is certainly a much safer location than the lab's Ohiyama buildings. In fact, this may have been the safest place for Okabe, given everything that was going on. On our way, Faris-san reached out to her father to make sure he was home. She told him to make certain arrangements and that she will fill him in all the details later.
Lumio!
Rumio, is that her real name? Faris-san's father gave his daughter a big hug as he welcomed her home. Seeing a display of affection like this, one especially rare in Japan, filled my chest with a subtle, hard-to-describe emotion. I should be familiar with this. I know what the emotion's supposed to be, of course, but now's not the time to worry about it. I assist Kuroki in laying Okabe down in the bedroom. Kuroki tells me that he plans to call the family doctor later to give Okabe some sedatives. I sigh in relief, Then I returned to the living room to formally introduce myself to Farisan's father. The man, having just finished hugging his daughter, smiled gently as he noticed me and enthusiastically offered his hand.
君がルミホの友人だね。秋葉ルミホの父、秋葉幸隆です。どうぞよろしく。
I shake his hand without hesitation. I have lived in America so long that it's almost uncomfortable meeting someone without a handshake.
マキセ、クリスです。
マキセ、クリスさん。
はい、そうですが。
Still holding my hand, Yukitaka Oji-sama tilts his head and looks at me. It seemed I thought he was studying my face. Don't tell me he's one of those pervert old men. Just as I was about to ask Farisan for help, Yukitaka Oji-sama mentioned a name I didn't expect to hear.
君のお父さんは牧瀬正一という名前かな。
What?
どうしてパパの名前を。
やっぱりそうなんだね。そうか、あのクリスちゃんか。すごい偶然だな。こんなに立派になって。
パパ、マキセさんのこと知ってるの？
僕と牧瀬正一は大学時代の友人でね。
嘘。
しかも一時期は彼の研究に資金を提供していたこともあるんだ。僕がスポンサーで、正一が実際に研究で成果を出す。アドバイザーとして僕ら二人の師匠ともいえる教授がついてくれてね。
And I don't know who is that. We do got the name, but I haven't seen her. I feel like I have heard this story before. It was the reason my family had to move to Aomori. At the time we were living in Tokyo and Papa was an independent researcher. But the reason we had to move to Aomori, where my father still lives, is because the funding he relied on was cut off. So this man...
僕らが大学を卒業してもその座組はしばらく続いたんだ。正一は相対性理論超越委員会と呼んでいたよ。
That's the first I have heard of that. What a name.
クリスちゃん、君はよく僕らの家にも正一に連れられて遊びに来たことがあるんだよ。当時はお茶の水の方に家があってね。そこはうちの会社が傾きかけた時に売却したんだが、庭まであったんだ。そこで君とルミホは一緒に遊んでいたよ。
ということは、私とマキセさんは幼なじみ？
Faris and I stare at each other in disbelief. So much has happened today that I feel like my nerves are about to short out.
というか、黒木もそのことは覚えているはずだろう。気づかなかったのかい？
いえ、気づいておりましたが、それよりも岡部様のことを優先いたしました。
そうか、ありがとう。娘の友人を介抱してくれて。さて、では本題に入ろ
う。はい。
Yeah, right now my papa's history and my unknown connection to Faris are irrelevant. Right now we need to keep our focus on Okabe.
すみません。急に頼ってしまって。
いや、頼ってもらってよかったようだよ。
Why the music just stopped? His tone was cunning and sharp, as if he had transformed from the easygoing, nostalgic man who stood before me a moment before. He was no longer a father, but a shrewd businessman. His gaze is sharp as a knife. His eyes are like a hawk's, taking in everything around him.
ルミホから連絡をもらった時は半信半疑だったけどね。念のためにお世話になっている人にお願いしたんだよ。そしたらね。
お世話になっている人ですか？
ああ、秋葉原で行われるお祭り、神田明神の神田祭りとかで夜店を出してくれる敵屋さんの元締めにちょっと話をしたのさ。
Okay, give me 1 second, right? Let's see. Kanda Festival, a large festival held every 2 years, one of the 3 great festivals along with Kyoto's Yon Festival and Osaka Tenjin Festival. People who sell goods or perform in the street as a service. There are also groups who serve as a sort of mutual support society in some regions, helping to solve minor crises.
びっくりしたよ、正直ね。確かに連絡があった通り、警察や鉄道会社に干渉があったらしい。元締めさんにも一応断りがあったそうでね。
My breath caught in my throat at what must have been the thousandth shock I have received today. It's not that I didn't believe Okabe, but to know for certain that CERN is actually able to influence organizations like the police left me shaking.
君たちが戻ってくるまでの間に色々と調べてみたら、そもそもこの秋葉原一帯を封鎖して出入りにも制限をかけてるみたいだ。見た目はそうじゃないけれど、まあ警察のやる検問と同じだね。多分それで秋葉原から出ようとするクリスちゃんや岡部君を捕捉しようとしたんだろう。
Ah, yeah.
補足。
I shuddered. We are being targeted by a powerful organization. Given that Okabe, Hashida, and I were the driving forces behind the time machine, we must be their main focus. Thinking of it now makes me even more worried for Mayuri and Hashida's safety.
君たちは一体何に巻き込まれた？具体的に詳しい話を聞かせてほしい。一体この秋葉原の街で今何が起こっているのかを見極めるためにもね。
There was a subtle anger in Yukitaka Ojisama's voice. It wasn't directed toward us. His anger was directed toward the intruder stopping through the place he lives, the place that he's built up and nurtured over the years. An anger born from the desire to protect the town he loves, like a mother bird defending her nest.
なるほど。
In the end, it took the 3 of us, Faris, Kuroki, and me, over an hour to tell Yukitaka Ojisama everything that was going on. Well, to the extent that we were capable at least. The only one of us to time leap, witness Mayuri's numerous death, or know anything about surrenders or the commit of 300 is Okabe. Under normal circumstances, his testimony will be invaluable for clarifying certain details and verifying what he had to say. But given his unconsciousness and extreme mental fatigue, that's simply not an option. It's not surprising. The shock and despair he's gone through will be unbearable even for someone trained to cope with mental trauma. I'm only still standing right now because I'm forcing myself to think rational. Which is why we end up telling Yukitaka Oshisama Okabe's story on our own. It was a long explanation, fraught with false starts, speculation and clarification, but we finally finished. That said, Yukitaka Oshisama's initial response didn't seem positive. He tilts his head down, frowns, and seems to lose himself in thought. He must not be able to believe it. I'm surprised though. It didn't come from Okabe after all. No, it's hard to believe, even coming from Okabe himself. I wouldn't have believed him myself if he weren't so desperate. I would have written it off as yet another Chunibyu fantasy Otsu.
クリスちゃん
Yukitaka Ojisama unexpectedly breaks the silence.
はい。
僕と君のお父さん正一が大学生時代からの友人で彼の研究に出資していたとさっき話したね。
はい。
Though I have to admit I'm still having trouble comprehending that. It was when Yukitaka Ojisama funding ceases that Papa's lifeline as a researcher was cut off. I remember him telling me that when I was little. But that was just Papa's perspective. Yukitaka Ojisama must have had his reasons. But that's all in the past anyway. I don't hold any grudges against Yukitaka. Also, Papa did take Mama and me back to his home to Aomori so he could devote himself to his research without worrying about money. Maybe that was a sign that he'd already lost hope. Of course, I know that Yukitaka Ojisama had his reasons. Papa had told me that he may have pulled his funding because his company was facing financial issues. That's why I don't intend to hold him responsible for what happened.
じゃあ相対性理論超越委員会の研究の内容が何だったかは知ってるかい？
No, I think. There was something strange in his voice, as if sorrow, anger, and nostalgia were all blended into one, and I find myself stunned at his question. I have never been told the finer details of Papa's research with Yukitaka Ojisama, but Papa only ever researched one thing. I can make pretty confident guess.
はい。知っています。
Once again, the shadow of my father looms over me, and yet...
僕と正一、そして師匠の教授の3人は定期的に会って秘密会議を開いていた。
Yes.
あるものを作るためにね。
A time travel. For Papa and Yukitaka Ojisama, these memories are treasured from their early adulthood.
そう。僕たちが作ろうとしていたのは君たちと同じくタイムマシーンだ。
そうなの？すごい子供みたい。
せめてロマンと言ってくれないか。
Ah, like they used to say in the cassette. You know who the middle one appears? She looks like Zuzuha. Huh. I'm just saying what that image appeared. I'm not saying anything else. Huh. I'm looking at you. Yukita Ojisama told us briefly about the transcendence of the theory of relative commit. Papa and Yukitaka Ojisama's mentor, the professor, was the first to research time machines. It all began when Papa snuck a look at his notes. The dream of the time machine inspired Papa and Yukitaka Ojisama into forming a group with the professor they once avoided. That group became what Papa dubbed the transcendence of the theory of relative commit. The professor had all the ideas and inspiration, but didn't have the scientific and the technology means to make them reality. Papa handled the actual RD. In other words, the professor had the ideas, Yukitaka Ojisama the funding, and Papa the research and engineering. This was how the committee functioned. In that way, it was a lot like our future Gauge laboratory, where our crew centers their work around Okabe. Okabe has the ideas, I construct the theories, and Hashida conduct the actual experiments. This means Papa handled both Mai and Hashida's role. The parallels are obvious. Yukitaka Oshizama must have released this when he heard about the time leap machine, which will explain the complicated emotion in his voice. The next generation succeed where he failed. Did his old tone stem from pride or from jealousy? Of course, there is no way for me to know for sure, and I may very well be oversimplifying things. He's clearly dealing with some complicated personal feelings.
同じものを作ろうとしていたからわかることもある。いや、違うな。僕がわかっているわけじゃないか。
This may be the first time I have heard Yukitaka Oshizama double his own words.
どういうことですか？
多分ね。僕はそのセルンと300人委員会のことを知っている。それも2つの方面からだ。
This time it was my turn to frown upon hearing Yukitaka Oshizama's words.
2つの方面って、パパ、どういうこと？
一つ目は僕がというよりも僕たちの恩師であったその教授が知ってたんだと思う。教授はタイムマシン研究を極秘に行っていた。いつどこで誰から漏れるかわからないから協力者も最小限に制限していたくらいだよ。正一はその方針にあっさりと賛同してたけど、僕は共同出資者が欲しかったタイミングもあったから少し困った時があったね。けど今にして思うと教授はセルンがそういうところだと知ってたんだろう。
Huh. In other words, he had remarkable foresight. But then there are cases like Okabe. It's difficult to tell what the truth actually is.
では、2つ目っていうのは何なんですか
？300人委員会のことだよ。これも正確にはそのものを知っているというわけじゃないけれどね。
Again, I couldn't help but to be puzzled by Yukitaka Oshizama's words. Seeing the question written on my face, Yukitaka Oshizama spoke with a gentle smile.
クリスちゃん、君からすると秘密結社というのは現実離れしてフィクションじみた大層なものなんじゃないかい
I wasn't able to come up with a response to bizarre inquiry. Thought it seemed he expected my reaction.
実はね、秘密結社っていうのはありふれた珍しくもなんともないものなんだよ。僕くらいの実業家にとってはね。
I don't even know what I'm up against. Faced with the reality of his statement, my brain retreated to one of my regular channel reference. Sensing my inability to process what I was hearing in my blank expression, Yukitaka Oshizama explained himself more simply. Essentially, it boils down to this. To what? Long ago, before the Industrial Revolution, the publication and distribution of information was far more costly than it is now. Additionally, with society's rapid advancement and the associated increase in business opportunities, Americans realized that traditional business methods were fast becoming obsolete. Perhaps the greatest change was the unprecedented demand for banks just before the start of the age of exploration. This demand transformed the economy entirely. That marked the end of the old way of doing business. Small range, small scoops, small margin business were on the way out. Faced with a changing world, the wealthy, in order to protect their profits, searched for ways to construct unions to mutually benefit one another. But these weren't like national unions. These organizations were closed off to the majority of society. Some of them kept their very existence a secret in order to protect their members and activities. These organizations later become known as secret societies. Naturally, there are non-economic secret societies too. For example, Italy's famous Sicilian Mafia was originally a rebel organization that fought against oppression from the mainland. Moreover, the Knights Templar, a centerpiece of numerous conspiracy theories, is not an actual secret society. The belief that the Templars operate in secret to this day is largely due to France declaring members of their order heretics. Outside France, however, they operate in plain sight. Most notable in Portugal, where the king became a member of a Knights Templar, uniting the country and the organization as one. In other words, present-day Portugal is the Knights Templar. One can hardly call Portugal a secret society. The Soviet Union, which collapsed before I was born, was originally a secret society, a society that sparked a revolution and turned itself into a nation.
君たちは知らないだろうけれど、未だに秘密結社はたくさんあって、それは世界を動かしてる。でもそれは別に特別なことでも何でもない、当たり前のことなんだよ。理解しているかどうかわからないけれど、君たちのラボだってある意味では秘密結社だ。それをまず認識すべきだよ。
To be honest, his words shook me. I always thought secret societies were nothing but delusion fantasy thought up by conspiracy theorists and Chunibuyu. But apparently there are many secret societies influencing the government of developed countries simply by voting. Of course, there are still many profit-seeking secret societies whose ambition don't extend beyond wealth.
300人委員会という結社がその意味でどのぐらいのランクに属する組織かはわからない。ただ相当なものなのは確かだろう。ビジネスで言えば喧嘩を売るべきではない相手だ。向こうの目的も規模も手の内もわからない。特に考え方がわからないのが一番痛い。もしかしたら互いの利益の落としどころを探って和解できる相手かもしれないのに、それもわからない。
パパ。
Farisan's question is ripe with concern. In response, the concerners of Yukichawa Ujisama lips curl up.
けれどね、僕たちの町であるこの秋葉原でこんな自分勝手をした連中を許せない。彼らには多少なりとも報いが必要だ。
At that point, I finally understood. Yukitaba Ujisama was angry.
おや、少し失礼するよ。
Why the music stop? As he answered the phone that raged abruptly, Yukitaba Ujisama dons a slight smile. Then he utters us as he hangs up.
どうやら手がかりがつかめたようだ。君たちの言うラウンダーという連中の一人を捕まえたよ。
捕まえた？
Kabe had said that the rounders killed Mayuri, and we captured one of these relentless murders. What kind of man is Yukitaba Ujisama? It feels like we are stepping outside of reality. Maybe all of this is a dream? No, I can't think like that. I need to stay rooted in real life. At this point, I didn't care if it felt like I was living in a manga. To me, Yukitaba Ujisama's words seemed like the light at the end of the tunnel. According to Kitamo Ujisama, this is what happened. While his manager, Buddy, was in a bar thinking of a plan, a man bound in a rope suddenly appeared lying on the ground out front. This man showed signs of severe physical trauma and was trembling in fear. As they interrogated him, he started to talk openly about being a rounder. The one who brought the man to the bar was a woman with braided hair. According to the barkeeper, she took off on a without some as a word after she dropped her cap. FB. The identity of this woman is come on. Suzuha, right? Regardless, this provides us with new information about the rounders. Given that the woman offered him up like a present, it's possible that it may be a trap. However, still the man revealed that the rounders are divided into independent groups, completely unaware of the other rounders' operations. The capture wonder also told us that someone named FB. Okay, it's not FB then. Named FB is in charge. FB doesn't give the wonders orders directly, instead choosing to operate through their underlings. Their objective originally was to secure an old PC called the IBM. As of yesterday, the man told us a special wonder task force from France had entered Japan. Their objective was to raid the Future Catch laboratory, securing the time leap machine and its developers. As for the capture wonder, his division was told to spread across Akihabara to prevent said developers, namely we lab members, from leaving the city. He also confirmed our fears. Mayuri and Hashida had been captured by the Rounders and taken away, though the man doesn't know exactly where.
君たちの作ったタイムマシーン、タイムリープマシーンか。そちらは別動隊が確保する予定だったそうだよ。ただ警備会社に知り合いがいてね。大檜山ビルは警備させている。それで様子を伺っていたのかもしれない。
Which means coming to Farisand home was the right choice. Staying at the lab could have led to a confrontation with the Rounders coming to take the time leap machine. I shudder thinking about how that encounter would have ended.
マユシーとダルニャンは一体どこに連れて行かれたの？
Faris was driven to tears by her father's story. It doesn't seem like she can just stand by knowing that her friends are in danger. But it seems like she had no idea what to do.
その FB ってラウンダーさえ確保できたら。
I think out aloud, knowing full well how difficult that will be. We don't have anywhere too close to the amount of information we'd need. We don't even know if this FB is in Japan or not.
こんな時に橋田がいれば。
I know I'm asking for the impossible, but I'm sure that Hashida's excellent hacking will be able to find us a loophole. Hacking isn't solely about remotely accessing a device or source of information at the computer network. It's about seeing through the opponent's security or passwords and outwitting someone else to find a route in. In that sense, Hashida may have been able to come up with a unique approach for the mess of a situation we're in, one that will defy the Rounder's predictions. But he isn't here. It's ironic that we need Hashida's skill in order to find Hashida himself. His contribution to the time leap machine were immense. He was a necessary component of our lab, just in a different way than Okabe. I try to brainstorm, but I can't come up with any good ideas. Yukitaba Oshizama picks up the phone once more.
どうやら今の僕たちでは手に負えない事態のようだ。
In a way, he sounded a little defeated, but his expression was not that of someone who had give up.
パパ、どうするの？
ちょうどいい。ルミホにも改めて教えておこう。自分ではどうしようもない時は、誰か信頼できる人間に力を借りるのがビジネスの鉄則だ。ちょうど僕がついさっき元締めに力を借りたようにね。人間はその個人だけで完結した存在じゃない。一人の人間の周りにはその人間を取り巻く人々がいて、社会があって歴史がある。その人間が過去から積み重ねてきた経験も、周囲にいる人々も、生まれ育った環境も全部ひっくるめてその人になるんだ。道を示してくれた教授がいて、正一がいて、ルミホがいて、この秋葉原の街があって、今ここに僕がいるようにね。
Yukitaba Oshizama continues to say that this is the same for CERN and the commit of 300. No matter how powerful of an entity each may be, they are not completely disconnected from the rest of the world. At least some of their number must have family members. They must have connection to their country, their land, or other human beings. Even America, for all its military may, cannot act unrestricted with the modern international society. Even the numerous dictatorships that exist through history have connections. However cruel a tyrant may have been, they were not always able to exert their will 100% of the time. And this is where their weakness lies. If the Committee of 300 is some kind of European organization, then that must mean that there are also Indian and Middle Eastern secret societies. Japan, China, and Russia also have their organization and an industry that can impact their international community. If those organizations can be led to mobilize in some way, even if we can make certain of Committee of 300 abandon or change their plans, we may be able to restrict them into making adjustments.
もちろんその結果が僕たちの望む結果につながらない可能性はある。それでも何もできずにただ座っているよりはマシだ。
And with that, Yukisama started making calls. He mostly conducts his business in English, but occasionally will use language I couldn't understand.
お嬢様、マキセ様。
Farisan and I were just sitting and watching Yukisama place his phone calls in a daze, but Kuroko's words snapped us out of our reverie.
こうしていても体力を無駄にするばかりです。今のうちに少しでもお休みください。
でも
I can understand Kuroki's perspective. If Yukisama intends to rely on his connection to take action, there really isn't much the two of us can do. However, given the situation at hand, I just didn't feel like resting.
クーニャン、黒木の言う通りだよ。少し休んで。
Fairy says as she pulls my arm.
でも
クーニャン、分かってる？今自分がどれだけひどい顔色してるか。京馬と同じだよ。休まないと。
Pale. I didn't release it myself, but it must look pretty tired for Fairy-san to bring it up. Now that she mentioned it, I guess I did stay up all night. I didn't even have dinner. To top it off, there's the summer heat to deal with. Cope up with the dire situation that is a recipe for fatigue.
京馬やマユシ、ダルニャンが大変な状況なのに、クーニャンにまで何かあったらどうしようもないよ。京馬を助けるためにも、クーニャンは元気でいないとダメ。
Hearing it out loud, I finally realized how irrational I am being. Fairy-san is absolutely right. I cannot do anything for recover my Uri if I have collapsed. Reluctance, uncertainty, and hesitate fill my heart, but I'm a researcher who values reason above all else, so I should act accordingly.
分かったわ。フェイリスさん、黒木さん、ありがとう。少し休みます。
岡部様のお隣に寝室を用意してあります。ご案内いたしますのでこちらへ。
何かあったらすぐに知らせるから安心して、クーニャン。
お願い。
After I thank her, I followed Kuroki-san to my bedroom. What will happen? What thing could happen when you walk into the bedroom?
クーニャン？
Well, that's a strange new nickname. I couldn't sleep. Even though my body and soul are completely exhausted, my mind is still wide awake, and I can fall asleep no matter what I do. Tossing and turning in bed, I try all sorts of relaxation and breathing techniques to guide myself to sleep. Nothing works.
前より明日岡部
Steins still only invited unpleasant thought. My imagination runs wild with worst-case scenarios, each one making my body stiff. I keep trying to shake the thoughts out of my head. I sigh helplessly. All I want to do is help my friends, but I don't have the ability to actually do that. For now, I need to place my hope in Yukitaka Hoshi-sama and make sure I'm rested up when we have some leads to follow. And I understand that I should understand it, at least, but it doesn't help. Not at all. I'm face to face with my own helplessness, my lack of experience.
自分ではどうしようもないときは、誰か信頼できる人間に力を借りるのがビジネスの鉄則だ。
Yukitabo's is some words formally echo in my head. These words were meant to explain our next step to us, but also to give us a fair warning. There's always the possibility that we can screw up and make things more complicated if our impatience got the best of us and we storm out just to be captured by lingering rondors. All of Yukitabo's planning will go down the drain. There's really nothing we can do. Our only option is to rely on Oji-sama, and the best way to help him is to stay up, put. This is how it should be, but
私は結局何もできやしないのな。
I'm embarrassed by my own immaturity and wishing for power I haven't earned like a child. People should strive to achieve whatever they can within the range of their abilities and experience. By running society in this way, each individual will be able to find their niche. If everybody had equal limitless power, human individuality would be meaningless. I live in America, where different cultures are accepted and celebrated. I know how dull a world without difference will be. But at the same time, it's also true that I haven't matured enough to simply accept my place in a rigid society.
教授や先輩なら、その未熟さも君の個性のうちだとか言うんでしょうね。未熟なうちしかできないことがあるって。
As I vocalize my thoughts, I release something. Professors and upperclassmen. Once again, Yukitabo's words echoes in my mind.
人間はその個人だけで完結した存在じゃない。一人の人間の周りにはその人間を取り巻く人々がいて、社会があって歴史がある。その人間が過去から積み重ねてきた経験も、周囲にいる人々も、生まれ育った環境も全部ひっくるめてその人になるんだ。道を示してくれた教授がいて、正一がいて、ルミホがいて、この秋葉原の街があって、今ここに僕がいるようにね。
I sit bolt upright in bed.
そうだわ。
What? Just as Ukitabo-sama has his connection, I have my own. Yeah? While I may come from a different background and age group that Ukishama Oji-sama, I am not alone. Papa and Mama, Fari-san, Yukitaka Oji-sama, Kuroki-san, my professors, my upperclassmates at Victor Kondoria, Okabe, Hashida, Mayuri. There are many people around me, and if Yukisama Oji-sama can reach out to people for help, I can too. What are you calling? It's just after 11 p.m. now, meaning it's morning in America. I could email a list of people I could ask for help given the time of day. I could only come up with one or two thoughts. But then I released something.
今日は確か教授の講演会の日だ。
My timing couldn't be worse. One of my former teachers at Victoria Condori's neuroscience institution is presenting his research result to professors from other universities today. That alone is going to make him extremely unlikely to be answering phone calls or checking mails. What's worse, I couldn't even get a hold of my upperclassmen, who normally pick up in no time. I have no other personal contacts at Victoria Condoria.
なんてこと。どうしてこんなタイミングに。
And then I remember something that Okabe said.
まるで世界の意志が参り主を望んでいるようだった。
We love the war, time paradoxes. Is it possible that I am also under the influence of this so-called will of the world? Okabe said that even if the Rounder did not directly attack Mayuri will, for some reason or another, die. No matter how many times he repeated the day, no matter how many things he tried, it was imminent. The will of the world, natural providence, Okabe told me he felt something that could only be described as fate. Is this the same force that keeps me from reaching anyone for help, no matter how hard I try? Is the will of the world, as Okabe called it, hindering my action? No, it can't be. I refuse to accept the idea that we live in a predetermined world. The idea that our fates are set is too absurd to believe, meaning that something is behind this phenomenon, and if so, we can find out what it is and resolve it to escape this hellish situation.
問題はどうすればその原因を特定できるのか、どうすればそれを取り除けるのか。
Is it even possible for me to solve this on my own? I tight-gripped the cell phone that I used to place my calls. Try as I may, I couldn't come up with a good idea. No sooner had I caught a glimpse of hope than it faded away. If this were mere research, I could simply walk away, knowing that the discovery is a slow process, but not this time.
どうしたらいいの?
I half opened my cell phone absently and see a certain word in the contact list. Papa. I tried contacting him a few days ago, but he refused to call me, to talk to me. But right now I need someone, anyone help, and if that person is Papa, then all the better. I enter his phone number and press call. But
出ないか。そうよね。当然よね、こんな時間に。それとも私だからかしら。
Papa doesn't like me. No, he may as well hate me. There's no way he will answer the phone for the likes of me. I close my cell phone and unconsciously pull myself upright. I then proceed to exit the guest bedroom and gently open the door of the next room. This room is also as dark as the one previous, but from the sound of his breath alone, I knew who was in there.
岡部。岡部。ごめんなさい。
Oh. What should I do? Okabe is so worn out. He's suffered so much for so long. I want to save him, but I don't know how. I don't know what to do for the person I love. I'm completely at a loss.
何が？天才よ。私なんて。
I'm confident that I have been working my hardest the whole time. I have done everything I can. I have even produced results. But at this moment, none of that has any meaning. I can make Papa happy. I can save my friends. I'm useless to the end, to the one I love. I gently touch Okabe's cheek. It feels like he lost weight somehow. He may have burned an extreme amount of calories, working his brain at such a high capacity after receiving his future memories. Or maybe it's because after dashing out of the lab, he ran all around Akihabara in desperation. Either way, it's a painful sign.
ごめんなさい。私、こんなにも無力だ。何もできない。
I noticed tears falling from my eyes. They lined on my hand and dripped down, wetting my fingertips on Okabe's cheek.
ダメ。嘆くな。辛いのは、一番辛いのは岡部なんだから。私がここで泣いちゃう。
That's right. The one who is in most pain, who has suffered the most heartbreak, is the one who has witnessed my death over and over again, Okabe. But that means... An image emerged from the back of my mind. The time machine, the time machine built under Okabe's direction. Right now I can't think of a way to save Hashida and Mayuri. But what if I change the past? What if I use the time leap machine to get us out of this situation?
ダメね。
I do not fully understand under what rules and logic are involved with traveling through time and changing the past. So far, Through our DML experiments, we have learned that modifying past events can significantly change the world. However, most of us cannot perceive these changes. All of this information comes from Makabe, the only person with this reading Steiner ability. If he were lying about this or simply deluded, this hypothesis would collapse immediately. That said, the reason we have come this far is because I believe in his ability and claims they are the basis of the time leap machine after all. Even then, change in time are very subjective and vague, and only Makabe is capable of observing them. In other words, even if I were to change the past, only Makabe will notice. If I change the past, my memories will be erased the moment the world changed. And if my Iris life were put in danger again, I would not have the knowledge to keep her from dying. Given that she's already died over and over, it seems especially risky. The bottom line is, under the current circumstance, changing the past doesn't make sense without Makabe involvement. Without the reading Steiner, changing the past is essentially meaningless. Only Makabe can do this, which will mean the border is entirely on him.
いずれにせよ、岡部への負担が大きすぎる。何か他の手を考えなくちゃ。
After muttering that to myself, I realized that the frustration I had been feeling just a minute ago has been somewhat alleviated. I still feel a little impatient, but it isn't clouding my thoughts anymore.
あんたの顔を見たおかげかもね、岡部。
I try to joke, but there is a ring of truth to my statement. Suddenly, exhaustion and sleeplessness come crashing down on me.
戻った方が良さそうね。一眠りして状況を改善するためのアイデアを考えなきゃ。
I quietly move away from Makabe so as to not wake him up, then return to my own bedroom next door. The next morning, after waking from a good night's sleep, I lightly freshened up my appearance and head to the living room. There I see the exhausted Yukisawa-sama, who looks to have stayed up all night making phone calls at Kuroki-san, who stood by his side in support. The news is on the big screen TV, perhaps to provide them with alternate source of information.
ああ、クリスちゃん、おはよ
おはようございます。どんな状況ですか？
う。あまり思わしくはないね。
It seems that Yukitama Ojisama has infiltrated the Ronder's organization through negotiation and compromise. He has been able to learn the location of several lower level members, as well as a few agents that pass orders along them. In some cases, he is even able to capture them, but he is yet to obtain any information regarding FB or Mayuri and Hashida whereabouts.
どうやら予想以上に彼らにとって今回の行動は重要な価値を持ったものだったみたいだね。情報の隠蔽や迅速な行動からそれが伺える。
In front of Iketa Ojisama lay several documents and maps with numerous red markings on them. I quickly looked revealed that these were not only maps of Japan but of the Far East, Southeast Asia, America and Europe. There were large-scale maps as well as more detailed ones. Several points had been marked as predicted location of some of which it seemed had already been investigated.
普通はここまでやれば反撃に出るか交渉に出るかしてくるものだけどね。
According to Yukisama Oshizama, the fact that they haven't done either indicates how high priority their mission is. Sometimes when prioritizing a single objective, an organization will consider all related losses necessary to its success. Yukitama Oshizama said that the Ronder's response or lack therefore to his action was in line with his strategy. For saying the Ronder's governing body and the Committee of 300 who controls them, gaining sole control of the time machine must be an uncompromisable goal. If one can control time, they can manipulate the past to redo any and all operation until their success ensures. For them, nothing is impossible. As I said before, this is the power of a god. Who in the right mind will simply hand it over to someone else? If they wish to establish themselves as ruler of the world, their stance is a matter of course. The problem is that the rest of the world at the Mayuri's disadvantage. Unsurprisingly, Yukitama Oshizama is no longer calm and collected.
おじさま。
圧力をかけ続けてはいるけれど、あまり芳しくはない。このまま300人委員会と真正面から渡り合うのは得策じゃないが。
Although he said this, his person told me that he had ruled the idea out.
パパ。
ああ、ルミホ、おはよう。
Farisan made her way into the living room and seemed to grasp what was going on just by looking at Yukitama Oji-sama. Sitting beside Yukita Oji-sama, she leans toward him and embraced his arm.
心配をかけてしまったか。でも、パパはまだ大丈夫だよ。
Farisan looked conflicted. She's so worried about Mayuri Hashida no Kabe that she can hardly stand it, but she's also worried about her father working himself to the bone to save them. Perhaps Yukitama Oji-sama is the type to push himself, wherever fighting for his daughter's friends or for his beloved town of Akihabara. There are certain things he can't back down from. So it seems Farisan is worried that he will push himself beyond his limits. But at the same time, maybe we can't save Mayuri and Hashida without Yukitama Oji-sama doing that. I imagine this is quite the dilemma for her.
ありがとう、ルミホ。
Said Yukitaka as he caressed Farisan's face, then as he reached for the phone to contact another negotiator. A piece of news appeared on the flat screen TV.
次のニュースです。本日未明、葛西臨海公園の近くの海でワゴン車が1台海の中に沈んでいるのを釣りに来ていた会社員が発見しました。
The TV show footage of Tokyo Bay. As the footage continues, a box-shaped van is pulled out of the water by a crane. The crane slowly moves the van over towards land and places it on a blue tarp. For some reason, this makes me incredibly uneasy. I don't like it. Are my nerves being hypersensitive? Unpleasant thoughts rush through the back of my mind. They are thoughts I don't want to think, but I can't help it.
車内からは10代と思われる女性の遺体が発見されており、警視庁では身元確認を急いでいます。
The inorganic, emotionless voice of the newscaster resonated from the TV, and then some of the items left in the car were displayed on the screen. Farisan stepped up without a word, her eyes opened wide as she witnessed something unimaginable. A throbbing sound pulsed loudly in my ears.
そんな。
On the screen were a recognizable hat and a green cell phone, both of which once belongs to someone we knew very well.
嘘よ。
Farisan shakes her head like a child would. I don't want to accept this. I can't. This is something I should have been prepared for. After what Okabe told me, I should have predicted this. But neither of us were able to accept it. There was no way we could. Farisan and I were both so stunned that we couldn't take our eyes off the screen. That's how we didn't release.
Maybe.
Oh. That he had woke up and had entered the living room. I turned around to face the voice behind me. There was Okabe, withered on a piece of paper.
Mayuri! 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 俺はああああ
Holding his head in his hand, he dropped to his knees as if to repent. Hearing him scream as if his spirit had been torn to 1,000 pieces, I understood for the first time humanity's ability to vocalize such grief. but at the same time his lament made me accept the undisputable reality of our friend's death. Okabe's scream was evidence that Mayuri really was dead. Up to this point I have been deluding myself into thinking that those items they found and the corpse were all fake. That way I'd be able to say that I couldn't accept Mayuri's death until I saw it with my own eyes. But I was just lying to myself, pathetically trying to absorb the truth, the positive of what a scientist should do. That's right, I understood the moment I saw the hat and the cell phone on the screen, that our precious ally, our friend, was gone for this world, that I would never see her again. But I couldn't accept that, not like this. It's why I tried to say it was fake, to separate it from reality, to fool myself, but that's nothing more than shallow folly. The reality is before my eyes, the truth stands before me. I know that, I understand, I accept it. She's gone, Mayuri's gone. At the same time, I can allow myself to be lost in grief, both because the scientist inside me still wants to maintain control of the situation at hand, and because I'm the presence of someone in much deeper state of grief. Beating his head with his fist and crying, Okabe continued to wail. I grabbed his hand, hoping to get him to stop hitting himself, but he quickly breaks out of my gasp. He screams into the void, cursing the wonders and CERN. His screams held such pain, it felt as though they could tear apart the heart of whoever heard them. Though no matter how much pain his listeners felt, his pain was worse. I could not take it. I hate seeing the person I love reduced to this. Seeing the person I love in such pain. Is there something I can do for him? Anything? Why can't I help alleviate his pain? Helplessness and despair consume my heart. These are not my own feelings, they are Okabe's. His voice alone filled me with his agony and grief. Very sad, and I couldn't do anything for Okabe but embrace him. It was all we had left in us. Kurisu-san extended his hand. Suddenly Okabe slumped to the ground unconsciously, just as he did yesterday.
こう連続で眠らせるのは良くないのですが、このままの方がよほど危ないかと思いますので。
We simply hold on to Okabe in silence, shaking our heads. Kuroki-san seemed apologetic, but he provided Okabe with more peace than we could. We have no right to object. This is how useless we are, our combined experience, my genius status. None of that means anything right now. Just as Okabe laments being unable to save Mayuri, I'm unable to save Okabe. I can even start to ameliorate his pain. If only I had Okabe reading Steins ability, I could use the time leap machine to change places with him. But even that is nothing but a wish.
Okabe.
I hold on to him, muttering his name over and over, as he done with Mayuri only moments ago. I can sense Yukitabushi-san and Kuroki-san concerned eyes on me, but it's all I can bring myself to do.
Papa.
また。
お願い！パパ、岡部を ることができないの。
Feeling useless and awash with despair, I break down sobbing and crying the moment I hear Papa's voice. Not because of the trauma, trepidation and fear I associate with him, but because I hear the voice of the one who loved me and watched over me as a child. And Papa, taken back by my tears, seemed like he couldn't even begin to get mad or scold me. Thought it was only much later that I released this. I don't remember most of our conversation, but I was probably babbling incoherently. The overwhelming stress, the years of frustration between Papa and me, and the helplessness of being unable to save Okabe drove me too close to infantile regression. I let my emotion run wild, something I would normally try to avoid in front of Papa, of all people. What I do remember is that I repeat Okabe's name and help over and over. Neither my dignity as a scientist nor my appearance and manner as a member of society remained intact. I was simply overflowing with raw emotion. It's a wonder I was able to commit anything at all. But during this time, I was amazed that Papa was actually patiently listening to me. Oh my god. Maybe my unusual behavior convinced him that something was really wrong. He may have tried to interject at one point or another, but if I did, I didn't hear it. He certainly didn't have up on me, at least. By the time I began to come to my sense, I had been venting my emotion at that for more than 20 minutes. At that point, I was just sobbing.
お願い、パパ。
まったく、いまいましいやつだ。なぜこの私がそんなことをせねばならんのだ。見ず知らずの人間を助けろだと。
My heart grows cold as he stabbed me with a sword of ice. Time seemed to stand still. I forget how to breathe for a moment. I'm a long struggle for oxygen.
ちょっと失礼。
As I struggled to wrap my mind around my father's response, Yukitayoshi-sama took my phone from my hand.
正一、久しぶりだね。少しは友人に連絡をよこしたらどうなんだい？
Still stunned, I watched Yukitaya talk to my papa. Between Papa's cold words and my worry over Okabe, I didn't have it in me to do anything else.
Kunya.
Paris-san comes over to me and gives me a hug. But because I still haven't regained my cool, I hung on her.
フレリスさん、私
今はパパに任せた方がいいよ。京馬は黒木に運んでもらったから。
At Fairy-san's words, I look around the room and realize that Okabe had disappeared. Apparently, Kuroki-san had taken him back to his room from the night before.
今の京馬にはこれ以上は辛すぎるから。
It was as if I half reverted to a child. Okabe's reaction early had done something to me. I could hardly bear to witness it. Something in Okabe's mind must have snapped, worn out by the horrors he had witnessed. To cope with trauma like this, people often become numb and nihilistic, or mentally destroy themselves in their grief. Thought in either case, the outcome is the same. They lose who they once were. Okabe was simply experiencing the latter. The weight of his grief has even deeply impacted me, and I'm only feeling his suffering by proxy. I never thought anything other than my friend could make me give into my emotion like this. But what I'm going through speaks volumes about the tragedy that Okabe has experienced.
ねえ、クーニャ。
Very seeing that I have calmed down a little, speak to me, still holding me tight.
昨日、京馬が言ってたね。何回もマユシーが死ぬのを見たって。 マユシーが死んじゃうのを止めるために何度も時間を飛んだって。
Fairy gently carries my head and keeps quietly talking to me, patting my back from time to time.
じゃあ同じように時間を遡ったらマユシー助かるよね。
Bringing a friend back to life. If there were a way to do so, people would reach for it, no matter the cost. Making a time machine the forbidden fruit. As a scientist, I understand the weight of what she's asking, but even so, there was only one way I could answer.
助かるわ。まゆりは必ず助かる。私がそうしてみせる。
Perhaps this is how Okabe felt when he witnessed Mayuri's death. My logic and ethic are pushed aside by the dangerous allure of the time machine. Even if I have to risk everything, if there is a way to save Mayuri, I will find it. No matter how grave a sin it may be, no matter how it defies the laws of nature, if there is a means to an end, humanity will take advantage. Even if I had to give up my principles, if I can save Mayuri, to hell with them. If I can spare Okabe his pain, to hell with them. I will bear the weight of my sins. I will accept any punishment, an acceptable price to give her life back, knowing full well that this defies the natural order.
クリスちゃん。
Yukitaoji-sama addressed me, still with cell phone in hand. He's still on the phone.
翔一と話すといい。手伝うと言わせたよ。
Oh. Lies. Papa, help. What does that even mean? Seeing my non-response to his unbelief word, Yukitaoji-sama placed the phone on the table. He then proceeds to turn on the phone speaker function so everyone could hear.
じゃあ、頼むよ。
Go ahead, what?
お前はいつもそうだ。人の話を聞いてるのやら聞いてないのやら。挙句他人をおだてていいように働かせる。
言っただろ。それもビジネスのテクニックのうちだよ。さあ、始めてくれ。
まったく。
While I haven't fully grasped the situation, Yukitaoji-sama and Dad are exchanging words. This is the first time I have heard Papa's voice free from anger or scorn in a long time.
クリス。
パパ。
Hearing him say my name so suddenly surprised me, almost making me break out in a cold sweat. What I managed to say barely qualified as a response.
雪高から話は聞いたが、よくわからんことばかりだ。だが、とりあえずふざけているわけではないようだな。
He falls silent for a while. It seemed he was having trouble finding his words. It's not surprising, even if I had trouble accepting the phone wave when I first saw it. Between my crying and Yukitaoji-sama's persuasion, he does seem to realize that we are not kidding, but I imagine he's finding it difficult to sort everything out in his head.
まずは根本的なところから始めるとしよう。クリス、本当にタイムマシンを作れたのか？
作れたわ。と言っても肉体を。
どの理論だ？ワームホールか？それとも超高速物質を発見したのか？まさか反粒子ではあるまいな。あのエネルギーを無限大に変換するやり方もあるが、非現実的すぎる。そうなるとやはり。
Papa interrupts my story to start interrogating me. Thought I couldn't tell if he actually wanted me to answer his question or if he was just thinking out loud. That's a regular occurrence for scientists, but it was remarkable frustrating in light of what was going on around us.
おいおい、翔一、脱線してるぞ。
Yukitaoji-sama apparently felt the same way as I did and rebukes my father. Maybe he puts me on speaker so he could support me this way. Oh.
雪高、そうは言うが、きちんと理解せねばアドバイスもしようがない。 作戦すら立てられんぞ。
それには同意するよ。でも人の命がかかってる。加えてあまり時間もないんだ。頼むよ。
He was clearly unsatisfied, but didn't seem unhappy. Perhaps he's taking this more serious than I expected.
仕方のない。クリス、お前の作ったタイムマシンについて原理と状況を話せ。
はい。
Although I'm still processing what's going on. Right now, I certainly felt like our shattered father-daughter relationship was beginning to mend.
聞く限り、カーブラックホールの生成には成功しているのだな。
うん、できてる。どうしてそれが可能だったのかまでははっきりとはわからないんだけど。
I spent about an hour telling Papa about the time leap machine. I was surprised to find that after my exclamation he was able to accurately identify the time leap machine capability and limitations. As we spoke, we faxed documents to each other, so some of which include information that I had overlooked, so this hour was full of surprises. This is the same sort of feeling I get while I'm discussing things with Okabe. Oh my god. Relationship, father and daughter. Why things could be like this? Given our understanding of the time leap machine and considering Sir's moves, the conclusion we reached was fairly straightforward.
現状を鑑みるにだ。やはりタイムリープで過去に戻り、起きた出来事を変えるしかないだろう。
Is she gonna use it?
そしてその際に、その D メールとやらも使うことを視野に入れるなら、それを行うのはリーディングシュタイナーなる能力を持つその岡部倫太郎という小僧以外にはあるまい。
待って、パパ、それは無理なの。
I had considered that plan once before. How well does the time leap machine work? How can a D-mail allow us to improve our situation? Both of these questions face a single roadblock. How will what we do change the past? To my knowledge, I had not yet directly experienced a change past phenomenon. That's right. We can only go by Okabe's reports of his experience. Needless to say, if the past changes, our memories, knowledge, and experience will change with it. To observe that the past has changed, one must retain the memories of the pre-change past, otherwise there's no way to confirm it. That's why only Okabe, whose rending stainer ability can retain memories of the pre-change past, can notice the phenomenon occur. Honestly, I have found the concept hard to believe since I first heard it. In fact, my belief is entirely predicated on my trust in Okabe. That said, we have accumulated a number of pieces of evidence pertaining to change past phenomena over the course of our D-mail experiments. But we have none of for the time leap machine. Based on what Okabe told us, it seemed as though the time leap machine hasn't resulted in any change past phenomena. Despite Okabe's scant, vague testimony, Papa and I reached an hypothesis that change past phenomena do not result through the use of the time leap machine. We think the time leap machine only allows one to send themselves back through time, not to change said past. But we can say for certain. For example, Okabe currently is saying that change past phenomena do not occur as a result of time leap machine, but what if that's only because he didn't take any action that will trigger such phenomena? Much like when we began our D-mail experiments, we do not clearly understand what sort of trigger caused the change past phenomenon to occur. And given the delicacy of the situation, we cannot afford to take uncertain measures. In other words, just as Papa said, Okabe is the only person who can solve this. The only one who can interfere with time and actually be aware of the change he makes. But we can let him do so in his current state. Okabe is so worn out that he can't take anymore. I thought I explained it that bad.
無理は承知だ。そんなことは分かっておる。 しかしだ、お前は無理を無理と言い募ればこの事態が自然に解決すると思うのか。
それは
できないことをできないというのは簡単なことだ。だがそれを突破してこそ科学の価値がある。
I don't need that to tell me this. It's obvious to any self-respecting scientist. What is impossible today will become possible tomorrow. My professor at my old lab often quoted Tsiolkovsky words. Considered to be the father of astronautics, a genius that had already completed his astronautic theory before the Wright brothers. Okay. But be that as it may, the impossible is impossible. Well, there is value in overcoming the things people claim to be impossible, but optimism doesn't let people breathe underwater without the appropriation apertures or travel to space using a cannon. Saying things like that are possible is nothing more than junk science.
だが正一、
As I was flounded for a response, Yukitaka Oshizama interjected.
彼女の意見には同意せざるを得ない。僕自身の見解としても彼に何かをさせるのは難しいだろう。
そう言うと思っていたぞ、雪高。
なんだって？
この私がだ。そんな初歩的なことに頭が回っていないとでも思っていたのか。見くびってもらっては困るぞ。
What is he saying? Completely at a loss as to what my father's getting at. My face goes blank.
私を誰だと思っている。その大壁という小僧が憔悴しきっていることなど百も承知だ。しかしだ、事態はそいつにしか解決できん。ならばその小僧をどんな手段を使ってでも使い物になる状態に戻さねばならん。マユリとかいうお前たちの友達を小僧はずっと助けようとしてきたのだろう。その時の意欲を取り戻させるのだ。
Papa's comment is logical and coherent. If one ignores the sheer impossibility of the idea that is...
無理よ。だってそれには何とかしてマユリを助けられるという糸口を見つけなきゃ。
The reason Okabe had lost all of his hope and had become so broken is because he thought Mayuri's fate was inescapable. That no matter what he does or how many times he tries, Mayuri cannot be saved. Conversely, if we could prove that Mayuri can be saved, Okabe may recover. But I don't see how that's possible.
マユリを助けるにはどうしたらいいか今の私じゃわからない。多分この世の誰にも。
当然だ。今のお前にそれが見えるはずがない。だがこの世の誰にもというのは間違いだ。
え？どういうこと？パパにはどうすればいいのかわかるっていうの？
何をバカなことを言っている。研究の基本は観察と考察、そして実験だ。観察なしでお前たちからの証言だけで考察を行っているこの私に正しい解が導き出せるはずがなかろう。
ああ。
Very soon, Yukitaka Oshizama and I were all puzzled by Papa's remarks.
わからんのだろう。研究において観察は重要だが、目の前にある情報を取り入れすぎるあまり、逆に物が見えなくなることもある。クリス、今のお前がそれだ。
逆に物が見えなくなる。
Papa exclaims, "Why can't we find a clue to saving Mayuri? Because we have severe lack of information." Why is that exactly? Because not only do we only have one source of information, but obtaining clear information from that source is very difficult. In other words, we have not been able to extract sufficient information from Okabe, the person with the clearest grasp of the situation, and has the only one who has observed it in details. At the end of the day, neither Fari-san nor I have been able to talk normally to Okabe, making us unable to obtain information we could have obtained had he been in a calmer state. There's no contesting that, but Okabe had already been exhausted because of the wonders raid by the time we were able to speak with him. Mayuri and Hashida had been kidnapped and taken somewhere out of our reach.
パパの言いたいことはわかる。でもそれは机上の空論よ。もう岡部からは情報を聞けない。誰もそれを実行できる人なんていやしないわ。
いや、いる。
Papa speaks confidently the way he used to. I haven't heard him sound like that since he answered every question I asked him on my birthday 7 years ago.
いるって。誰？それは誰なの、パパ？誰なのか知ってるの？教えて。
正確に言おう。確かに今現在は存在しない。だが過去にはいる。お前だ、クリス。
What? What do you mean? I'm confused with and I got goosebumps. What? Wait. What? Wait. What? This person does not exist right now, but they do in the past, and it's Kurisu.
お前がやるしかあるまい。本当に小僧を助けたいのならな。
過去の私
Like, before this happened? The past, before Mayor had been kidnapped, before... Oh my god! My brain worked! Perhaps the me that exists at that point will be able to ask Okabe about the future and find a clue to saving everyone from there. At least according to Papa.
お前自身が過去に飛ぶのではダメだ。いや、正確にはそのきっかけを得るために一度は飛ぶ必要があるだろう。だがタイムリープマシンが時間をなぞるものである以上、それで状況を改善できないのは明白だ。どこかでその過去が変わる現象を引き起こす必要がある。ならばお前はきっかけを与えるにとどめるべきなのだ。
Papa idea is for me to leap into the past and tell Okabe to rely on the past me. No matter how you look at it, we don't have enough information. And we can't currently extract any from Okabe. Right now, what we need are information and time. And even after I leap to the past, we'll probably only gain an hour or two at best. Unfortunately, if I try to leap to a time before Okabe tried to break the time leap machine, it may take me a while to figure out what's going on. And if I try to time leap repeatedly to make up for that lost time, there's a possibility that I may inadvertently trigger a change past phenomenon. If that happened, I won't know whether the past changed or not because I lack the reading Steiner ability that would render our entire plan meaningless. Just because we don't believe the time leap machine cause change past phenomenon doesn't give us free regain to make time our plaything. Directly helping Okabe and taking a step to find a clue to solving our problem is a risky, temporarily dangerous proportion. Somehow I have to convince Okabe to leap back to a more manageable time and have him tell me of that time period everything he knows. Oh, yeah, like, okay. If Okabe of a better time can provide me all the information he has, that me will be able to serve as Okabe guide. In short, there's only one thing we can do, convince Okabe to go and change the past, and in the process get him to stand back up. That's it.
そうだよ。今の京馬からはきちんと話が聞けないけど、昨日の昼間の京馬からなら話が聞けるもの。
そしてその情報があれば過去のクリスちゃんなら解決の糸口を見つけられるか。
It sounds cruel to say, but in our current timeline, it makes perfect sense that Okabe ended up giving up on Mayuri. I don't blame him, but knowing Okabe, if his past self finds out about what happened in this timeline, he will shut down. If that happens, we'll fail all over again. But even if that does happen, I can't blame him. The shock will be overwhelming for anybody. That's why we must eliminate all possibilities that may lead to this.
お前には類まれな知識がある。お前には類まれな理論がある。お前の持つものを総動員して小僧に道を与え助けろ。それはお前にしかできない。その場所にいるお前にしかできない。
Only I can do this. Okay. Oh my god. Since the CD, the drama alpha, I have a little of a little space of heart for KURISU, that a little bit, and now I got a little more standing here. A good 13. 2010 Akihabara, in this place where I work with Okabe as lab member 004.
分かった。
Let's do this.
その上で他にも問題がないわけではない。計画の遂行には過去のお前にこの荒唐無稽な話を信じさせる必要がある。
That's right, even if I was able to invigorate Okabe, if he can't receive the support from past me, this will all be for naught.
どうすれば過去のお前がこんな話を信じると思う？
I run simulations in my head. If he were to tell me about the current situation without the despair he exhibited early.
信じない。
There's no question. I would probably laugh it off with a cool story also, or two. I won't give it a second thought. Frankly, it sounds like convincing myself is the biggest problem of all. I know myself, of course I can do it, but if I were to go back and tell myself the same story, I still won't believe it. It has to be Okabe. But how can I make my past self believe Okabe's words?
何か秘密とかないの？首筋に星型のあざとか。
ないわよ、そんなあざ。
Besides, if Okabe told me my most closely guarded secret, there is a 100 chance that I beat him up. If someone that I like asks you, you like me, don't you? I can imagine I'd take it very well.
は、
何かあったの？
A light bulb flicks on my head. I do have a secret, one that I rarely tell people. I guess into the cell phone on the table, as if to look at my papa on the other side.
あったわ、心当たり。多分これを言われたら信じる。
There is one secret in particular, one that leads to a soft spot in my heart, the most sensitive part of me. It's what I desire the most.
フォーク。私、フォークが欲しいの。
え？
When I was a kid, I wanted more than anything else. I begged Papa for it on my birthday, my personal fork. Since then, that fork became something that touched my heart, a symbol of Papa's love for me when I was little. A symbol of love that I could have received had our relationship not shattered on my birthday 7 years ago. An object inexorable from my childhood heart that is my personal fork.
私の今一番欲しいものは マイフォークである。そういえば過去の私は岡部を信じると思うの。
That's why the fork. Papa is silent. Maybe he knows what I'm talking about, but he won't say anything. That's just how it is.
フォーク？ああ、あれか。
You know? Wait. Yeah, he knows. They were talking about that, right? In the city drama alpha. I say the name so I can listen to myself, so intellectual. Then Yukitaka Oshizama opens his mouth. That? What does that mean?
黙れユキタカ。余計なことを口にするな。
君が僕のところに置いてったクリスちゃんへのプレゼントのことだろ。黒木、持ってきてくれないか。
He got it. Wait a minute. What is he saying?
ユキタカ、今その話をするな。
いい加減にしてくれ。もう預かり続けるのも限界だ。
Dad and Yukitaka continue to argue over the phone. While I tried to follow the unfurling drama, Kuroko-san brought out a small, slightly crushed box. Though the colors were faded, the box was beautiful wrapped.
こちらです。
小一のやつが7年前に君と喧嘩した後、疲れ切って我が家に預けていった品物だ。娘にプレゼントを買ったのに無駄になったって言ってたよ。
ユキタカ。
I take the box from Kuriko and start to unwrap it. Aww. As I thought, inside the box was a fork with an adorable design.
これ。
Oh, look at my heart. Oh my god. I remember. It's the one that I begged Papa for. Something I want for a long time. Something I have yearned for in my heart for a long time. And it's finally here.
Papa.
I thought I will never have it. My personal fork always needs to be a present from Papa. But here it is now. It came to me 7 years later.
Papa. ありがとう。
Kurisu. What the hell? You're doing a road with your breathing?
ならユキタカにでも言っておくのだな。こいつが御所を大事に持っていたのだから。私は知らん。
素直じゃないね、君も。
ユキタカ、お前はいい加減に黙っていろ。
小一、いい加減にしないと娘の死体の前で本音を言う羽目になるかもしれないんだぞ。
He did one. Oh, yeah, I remember. Papa struggled to choose his words. After a series of teeny groans followed by silence, he finally mutters.
そんなにそれが大切なものだというなら、過去のお前もそのことを持ち出せば信じるだろう。私にできるのはここまでだ。ユキタカ、この私をこんな茶番に付き合わせたことの埋め合わせは必ずしてもらうからな。
ああ、分かってるよ。
パパ。
Sensing that his call was almost over, addressing one last time. But surprisingly, he cut me off and addressed me.
最後にクリス、さっきの岡部という小僧だが。
あ、うん。
事が片付いたらそいつを連れて青森の私のところに来い。まったくとんだ迷惑だ。直接頭を下げてもらわんと気が済まん。
Oh my god! With a final run, he hangs up without saying goodbye.
Papa!
Why we cannot have this Kurisu Papa?
ああ、切れちゃったね。
うん。でもいいわ。
Somehow, at this very moment, my heart felt refreshed. All this time I thought he didn't love me. Worse, I thought he hated me, that he'd forgot about me. Even though he's holding his feeling and emotion back, I'm still getting to see them. This may not be unconditional love, but it certainly was at one point. I examined the fork in my hand and I'm filled with the confidence that I was, in fact, loved.
会いに来いって言ってくれたし、これからよ。
Aww. Well, who knows if that invitation will still stand once the past. Yeah, we know. I still don't yet understand what the sort of phenomenon that Okabe claims occurs when the past change. I trust Okabe, but it is subjective, unilateral phenomenon, and as long it cannot be observed without the reading stainer, we can do nothing more than guess at its effects. If the past changed and the reading stainer to activate, does it mean that he travels to another parallel world, or does it mean that our world disappears? If the past changes, what happened to our current memories, experience, and our feelings? What about each person's individual wishes and desires? If what Okabe says is true, it could be that when the past changes, all current events are rewritten. But there's no telling whether that's true or not. If after all, if my feelings still remain, I will definitely go see that with Okabe, as he told me.
クーニャンのパパさん、京馬のことを青森に連れてこいって言ってたね。楽しみだな。
楽しみって？
I raised a questioning eyebrow at Furry-san.
だってクーニャン、京馬のこと好きな人って言っちゃったよ。
Oh, yeah. What did she say?
だから京馬と一緒に行ったらどうなるか今から楽しみ。
That's right. Looking back, I did say that. I told Papa that I love Okabe. Oh, yeah. Wait, what? 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 Okay, she's remembering. I was scared. I grabbed my head and fall into the horse position. I say it, I really say it, to Papa, of all people.
なんてことよ。どうしよう。
どうしようも何も普通に連れて行くしかないと思う。
She's absolutely right, she's right, but
なんで私はこんなわけのわからないタイミングでカミングアウトしてんのよ。それも父親相手に。
まあまあ、だにゃ。
said Furry-san as she patted my head. Is this the butterfly effect? It took me more than 10 minutes to recover.
岡部。
Once Papa hung up, Faris, Yukitagaoshi-sama and I finalized our plans, but before heading over to the lab, I want to check on Okabe. He looks better rested. He took Kuroki-san treatment.
よかった。せめて辛い思いだけでもせずに済んで。
I gently caressed Okabe's cheek. Then Okabe shook his head and grimaced. He must be dreaming about her, but it doesn't look like a pleasant dream.
岡部、待ってて。私が必ずその悪夢から解放してあげるから。あんたが真由のために時間を飛んだように、私も過去に飛ぶわ。おかしいわよね。あんなにタイムマシンに嫌悪感があった私なのに。
My aversion to time machines. It was born out of rejection to my father's obsession with them. But now I had no such aversions, especially after learning the truth about CERN's research, getting myself involved in the development of a time machine, and realizing that time travel is more than just junk science. But even putting aside my aversions, I do feel as though using the time machine myself is taboo. The time machine puts godlike power into our hands. It defangs causality, allowing you to change the past and erase history as we know it. And changing the past is against my personal creed. Papa and I had a big falling out 11 years ago. I wouldn't want to change that painful event just because I have a time machine. Everything that has occurred in my life has shaped the person that I am today. A single event will make me a different MAKISE KURISU. And as long as this is true, I have no need to change the past, nor do I think the past should change, at least as far as my personal past is concerned.
だから、私がこうするのは、岡部、あんたがそうすると決めたから。真由を助けるために、何度も時間を繰り返すと決めたから。
Okabe said that the first time was instinctive. He said that it was the only way he could think to save Mayuri, and his body moved on his own. And once he started, he couldn't stop. Human beings are like that. That's why people shouldn't become so dependent on power or play with forces beyond their control. But knowing the circumstance around his decision, I don't blame Okabe. Besides, my beliefs are my own and not his. In other words, the time leap I'm about to perform isn't something I'm doing myself. Rather, I'm standing in for Okabe justice owns. Besides, we have no other option, and if it weren't for Papa persuading me, there's a chance that I won't attempt a time leap at all. I got something bad. Of course, none of that is to say I would put that portent entirely on Okabe. Ultimately, it was my decision. I can't stand seeing Okabe like this. There's no doubt that my desire to save him is a powerful motivator. Sometimes, one must take action, even if it goes against their beliefs. While it's common among scientists, it's the kind of situation I never wish to encounter.
でも、だからこそ、必ずあんたに道を示してみせる。真由と、自分と、岡部のために。
Alright, and for Hashida too. Though he may be able to escape on his own if he doesn't get killed.
正直言うとね、ちょっと怖くはあるのよ。だって自分で作ったとはいえ、タイムリープマシンがきちんと動く保証はないしね。あんたはそれで飛んだっていうのに、自分勝手ね、私。
Of course, it is possible that the time leap machine won't work properly on someone without Okabe's reading stain or ability. It may function differently based on a person's age and gen. Wait. Nai used it, and she remember everything. So don't worry, Kurisu. I was like, and now I remember about Nai. It will work. I think. Newly created technology always brings with it a number of unknowns, but Okabe leaped through time for Mayuri without a single assurance. So I want to do the same.
そう。あんたのためにね。
But even with my newfound determination, I'm really scared. I can't help it, no matter how much faith I have my theory.
だからごめん卑怯だけど私に勇気をちょうだい
I look at Okabe's sleeping face and move closer to him. I put my hands on his shoulder and slowly, gently draw close. Oh my god, so close I can feel his body. Then I place my forehead against his. I bring my thoughts next to his thoughts and we exchange breath and body. Oh my god.
岡部好き
Oh.
あんたがどれだけ中二病でもセンスのおかしな空気読めないもんでも知識の偏った北欧神話好きでもそんなの全然関係なく好きクリスティーナとか女子とかセレセブとかザ・ゾンビって呼ばれるのはいい加減食料品だけど、そのうち必ずあんたに私の名前をきちんと呼ばせてみせるわ真正面からね
That was my one-sided confession to a sleeping man. A confession that was unfair in some ways and meaningless in others. I don't expect him to respond. In fact, I probably never leave it down if he did. And it was for nothing more than my own satisfaction. But for now, that's good enough. I don't intend on ignoring my reader. I can make my official confession another time. This was just a sort of ceremony to receive the courage I need. A ritual. With slight reluctance, I pull my body away from Okabe's. I want to stay with him a while longer, but I don't have a lot of time. If the Rondor decide to make a forceful move against us, could all be over. When I stand up and look at Okabe, I can see that Okabe's unspainted expression has turned into a more peaceful one. His breathing is normal and so healthy. Yeah, he's going to be okay.
じゃあ岡部行ってくるね
I open the bedroom door and say, oh my god, why? Why the music stop? I always scared when the music stops. Okay, there's Sophia is waiting for me. For some reason she was singing with disappointment.
あれどうしたのフェリスさん
Really so suspicious I must look given what I was just doing in there.
くーにゃんこれからはヘタレーニャンって呼んでやるにゃ
I feel my body temper to spike. I'm sure my face is bright red.
フェリスさん覗いてたわね
覗くも何もないにゃそれくらいチェシャーブレイクで全部お見通しにゃ
Let's see. Wait a second. Functional Fairy's special ability which allows her to read the thoughts of an individual. Also the name of her stand is not just a feeling she has, by monitoring another person's subtle eye, body and hand movements. She can tell wherever someone is lying or not. Good for you, Fairies.
説明しようチェシャーブレイクとは相手の目を見るだけで気持ちが分かってしまうフェイリスの超絶魔眼なのにゃ
Of course.
はあそれにしてもクーニャンがここまでヘタレだったにゃんってびっくりしたにゃ時間がない状況じゃなかったらテイク2って言ってやり直しさせるとこにゃ
Who knew Fairy-san would be like this? She has a weird style of speech and even gives people weird nicknames. Between her and Okabe, why does Akihabara draw so many weirdos?
そんなことやってると先に漏らしちゃうにゃ
Said Fairies, with a devilish smile on her face. She looks so cute that even I may fall for her. Okabe won't stand a chance.
もう冗談はやめてってば。
わかってるにゃ。冗談だから安心するのにゃ。今はね。
I know that fairies' true feelings are no jokes. Even if I'm not good with people, I understand this much. But if someone told me to compete with fairies fair and square, I would be in real trouble. I don't have the will of experience I need to deal with competition like this, especially with everything else going on. I don't think I even have the mental capacity for it unless we save my ring and the situation stabilizes.
だからちゃんと勝負ができるようにクーニャンが元通りに戻すのにゃ。
Oh.
もしかしてまたチェシャーブレイクで読んだ？
Could she really have some sort of physic power? No, of course not. As a scientist, I can't accept that. But that would mean she has incredible sharp intuition. Now I'm curious. I want to study this. There's no time. I'd really like to conduct some experiment with fairies as my test up. But I have to hold off for now.
分かってる。私はそのために行くのよ。さて、
Okay.
これでよし。
Before long, we had made preparation and returned to the lab where we now stood in front of the time leap machine.
クーニャン、下の大きなテレビ電源入ってるのを確認してきたにゃ。
ありがとう。これでリフターの準備も OK ね。
With that, I activated the time leap machine. Now that's left is to put on the headgear and press the enter key.
いよいよにゃ。
Fairy-san came over and held my hand tightly.
そう。世紀の一瞬ね。
Since Okabe has already used the time leap machine, this won't be the world's first instance of time travel, but it does mark the dawn of time travel experiments, and I will become one of the pioneers. The fear I felt earlier had waned, replaced by a feeling of elation and curiosity, but at the same time, if I time leap, my reconciliation with Papa and the gift of my personal effort will be undone. I will be sending my current memories to a me who exists in a time before I spoke to Papa. After that, I will be putting all of my efforts toward helping Okabe, step of reconciling with him. If I didn't time leap, will Okabe someday be able to accept my Yuri's death and go to Aomoria with me? My mind wanders toward these possibilities, but I seal away all of this confusion in my heart. My pride as a scientist, my feelings toward my father. They are minor compared to what's at stake. That's my KURISU. This is how it's supposed to be, right, Papa? Okay, I'm kinda sad for you. Oh my god. You know, I freaking love when this thing happen, like you call the name of your friends and they appear and they help you. But it's not kinda like this time, but you know what I kinda try to mean, kinda. It's all up to me now. The destination is yesterday around 5:30 p.m. when everything was bathed in twilight.
岡部なら昼でも夜でもない狭間の時とでも言うんでしょうね。
Some mystic twilight. That's okay. The Japanese word comes from how hard it is to see people in the unusual lighting. People will ask one another, who are you? Tasokare? I remember one day my upperclassman at Victoria Condoria told me about the mythology of his home country. Also upon time, the god of light forged a deal with a demon. The deal read, the demon shall not day or night be harmed with anything dry or wet. But in order to defeat the demon, the god of lightning created the twilight. And to slay it, he used a weapon made of the bubbles of the ocean, something neither dry nor wet. In another myth, a demon was said to have obtain it: immunity to humans, ghosts, beasts, and other demons, whether day or night, inside or outside. In order to oust it, another god became a fusion of both lion and man, which was classified as neither beast nor human, and during the twilight defeated the demon standing in a doorway, neither outside nor in. That's what he told me. Perhaps the moral of this myth is that when you are present with two losing options, keep calm and think about wherever there is a third. By using a reason or by thinking outside the box, you can always find a third option. How always sweet the twilight is to untangle the mess of casualty in order to arrive at the correct option.
なんてこんなこと考える私も相当ね。
Does it have a meaning? I smell meaning. Here you don't say things just to say it. Even your hello means something. But I suppose that's just how we are. Most scientists are just romantic to Nibiru. Spend enough time around them and it's only a matter of time before they rub off on you.
どうしたのにゃふーにゃん。
なんでもない。それじゃあ飛ぶわ。後のことをお願い。
Okay?
任せといてにゃ。
I smile at her, then put on the heater. Electricity arcs through the air and my surroundings are consumed by a whitish blue light that goes shoulders below my feet.
行くわよ。
I press the enter key on the keyboard. My body shakes as if I'm caught in the middle of a large earthquake. It's enough to throw me into the air. It felt like my body was about to make the leap along with my memories. No, that's not what leaped was. Was it the word? What is this? A ringing in my ear pierced deep into my brain like a metal pair of force. It feels as though the cells of my central nervous system are being torn apart in every direction, down to the atomic level. Sight, sound, touch, smell, taste, all five of my senses ignore my brain signals and receive information of their own accord. And it's not just my sense, my heart starts acting on impulse, running through emotion until it feels like I'm about to burst. Yes, observe. Observe, analyze. I have to determine what this is. Extreme nausea and drunkenness erupt through me. My sense of gravity grounds back and I'm jumbled around back and forth, side to side, up and down. The imagine of the world reconstructing my brain as if it's an artistic put in together out of scattered mosaic tiles.
そうだ。未来よ。思い出したのよ。私最悪の気分かも。
The world gradually comes back together. As my vision grows clearly, the mysterious sounds and sensations withdraw, as if I'm awaking from a dream. When I come to, I curl into the fetal position on the floor of the lab. The rays of sunset beam through the window.
やっぱり実験はするものだわ。こんなに気分が悪いなんて。
I will keep that in mind for later. You could ride a roller coaster over and over again and still not feel this sick. This is valuable data. I wonder why. Does the brain get confused by memories that theoretically should not exist and force the body through a series of illusions? It can be a simple physiological phenomenon.
岡部も言ってくれればいいのに。
At any rate, I still feel sick. This degree of discomfort will make it dangerous for anyone frail to use. They've been consumed by it.
もしかして岡部がああなった理由の一つかしら。かなりの負荷がかかると見て良さそう。岡部ごめん。
I managed to keep the contents of my stomach where they belong and check the time on my cell phone. I go 13:5:24. The time leap was a success. Success being a relative term. I have been in pain for about 10 minutes now. I wonder how it was for Okabe. From what I observed, it didn't look like his time leaps took as much out of him. Did he get used to it? Or maybe the effect varied between men and women or from person to person.
そもそも岡部にはリーディングシュタイナーがあるものね。
I slowly pulled myself to my feet. I have to get to the bridge in front of the UPX like Ferris told me. If she's right, Okabe should be there. We only have a couple of hours before Mayuri dies. Considering it was around 7 p.m, I have an hour and a half. I have to reinvigorate Okabe and send him back to the past within that time.
でもこれしかないと分かってはいるけど、岡部をあんな目に遭わせなきゃいけないのね。タイムリープって。岡部、本当にごめん。次は快適にできるよう改良するから。
To keep Okabe from getting too concerned, I won't tell him that I performed a leap to be here. That's the rule. Let's go. Wait for me, Okabe. Wait. Oh my god. Okay. Wait. I won't say nothing till it's 100%. The effect of the time leap were unexpectedly intense. I didn't expect the road to feel this long. I can normally get there in no time. It takes all my strength just to keep my legs moving, and every breath is a struggle. Eventually, however, I make it to the front of OPX. Just ahead of me, I saw Okabe crouch down in the middle of the OPX bridge. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. I'm saying oh my god because cables have connected on my brain, and if the conversation happens, it was hard for me to believe that Okabe could look so depressed. For me, this was a mere 20 hours ago, but for him it had been a lifetime. Just seeing him like this nearly brings me to tears. But crying now will be meaningless. I didn't jump back in time to cry. I must reach out to Okabe. That's what I should do. Something only I can do.
ねえ岡部、あんたは一体何度恐ろしい未来の記憶を思い出してきたの？何度マユリが殺されてしまう残酷な光景を見つめてきたの？楽しげな喧騒があふれるこの街の真ん中でたった一人で孤独に戦い続けて、そんな姿になって誰にも頼れずに心も魂も擦り切れて嘆きと絶望で壊れかけている。ごめんね。いつもあんたのことを目で追ってたのに気づけなくてごめん。一人で戦わせちゃってごめん。ねえ岡部、私はそんなあんたの姿見たくないよ。また私のことを変なあだ名で呼んでほしい。ジョシュってクリスティーナってザ・ゾンビってセレセブって ムカつくけど、いつかちゃんと名前を呼んでほしいけど、でもやっぱり私をそう呼ぶ方が岡部らしいよ。そんなあんたに戻ってほしいよ。ねえ岡部、私は今のボロボロになったあんたに道を示せるかな。手助けになれるかな。あんたを助けたい、まゆりや橋田を助けたいっていう気持ちはもちろんあるけど、何よりも岡部、あんたを助けたいの。この思いを私は自分に対してだけはごまかしたくない。そのために自分の心情も曲げた。10年以上も嫌われてると思ってたパパとの和解もなかったことにした。だから岡部、次は私を頼ってほしい。あんたの仲間である私を、あんたの助手である私を。そうしたら私は絶対にあんたに道を示すから。
I take a deep breath, suppressing the emotion that almost crushed my heart. Oh my god, oh my god. I stand in front of Okabe, begging my voice not to tremble.
そこの地べたに座ってるドキュン男。
She lived that time steinsgate when we were in the bridge, and she did this. She wants to live with KURISU. Oh my god. For real, when I finish this chapter, okay. Is that right? Okay, is it? It is. I'm going back to watch that episode. Okay, let's finish. When I call out to him, Okabe slowly lifts his head and looks at me with hollow eyes. It is. Oh my. Oh. Wait. I need to... Oh my god. Wait, No, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, wait, let my brain fix himself first. Come on. After Okabe leap it, And we just saw, as you guys explained to me, and also as the episode show us, was on one of those failed leap. Kurisu leaves all of this. Kurisu freaking leaps back to time. And if we go to Steinsgate Elite, when Okabe is in the bridge and Kurisu appears, I never asked like how Kurisu knows where I am or anything like that. She did appear. And she believed us right. Oh my god, she believed us right away without talking about the freaking fork. And why I want to cry? Wait, what the hell? Oh my god, she gave up all of that to help us. Freaking Kurisu, I love you. And I'm really surprised that maybe there are people like doesn't play this game. What the hell? Oh my god, I'm in shock. Like it will gonna be like 10 minutes extra video, just my brain in shock. Wow, the explanation of everything that I never asked myself. I saw it all natural. And we sum that with the relationship between Fairy's father and Kurisu's father and the professor. Wait a second, the professor. I wanted to talk about this at the end, but there's no confirmation of anything. So obviously, if later on in some of this timeline, or maybe not another Steinsgate, zero is zero, right? After this is zero. Yeah, I think we're gonna know who is that professor. Well, but that freaking picture that they freaking show us, let me tell you something, that looks like Suzuha. And let me tell you something, her last name was Hashida. And let me tell you something, Fairy said that it wasn't Daru's mother, and it had Hashida, and it wasn't Daru's mother. I suppose it must be Suzuha, but what the freaking frog is she doing there? And I don't remember exactly the phrase she used in the CD, but oh my god, I want to look it up. Let me look it up very fast, for real. I want to wait. Okay, I got it. Really, I went to look it up. She said like why she wants a time machine, or why, for what she wants to use it. The professor Hashida, the third one between Kurisu's father and Fari's father, she said like she wants that something that she forgotten reach the past, and then she say no, the future, and then she say someday that you two may understand. Yeah, something she has forgotten reach the past, not the future. Maybe it's I need to translate that phrase in some way. I don't know if it's connected to the action of Suzuha that I have seen, or it's gonna be explained later on. So yeah, that professor I think is Suzuha. I think it's she. Don't tell me. If the game gonna tell me later on, don't tell me. So yeah. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for watching as always. And thank you for everything as always. It's difficult to say bye when I'm in shock. and the big connection just happened. So yeah, it's okay. Thank you so much, and see you in the next chapter if you guys want. I don't know, but I'm in shock.
Myself